Yes, this is your soul brother Talib, coming to you from my personal channel called Eric Bell YouTube channel. And as you know, I am from the Operation Exodus, Mississippi, and reality Temple Ministries platform, along with our brother Angel Snup Snup 7, of course. And I just have a few words right now at this time, you know, for Black America. And the few words that I have for Black America right now at this time, family, is that we either prepare ourselves for the impending fall of America, if it is ever to be a fall of America. We must prepare ourselves at this time because, of course, perhaps we don't know what tomorrow may bring in this dark time that we find ourselves in as a group of people and also as a nation of hundreds of millions here in the United States of America, which is the most powerfulest nation on earth in terms of military might and economics. Well, of course, you know that could end at any given right time opportunity. You know, with the way that world events is being shaped at this time right now because of the climate of what's going on throughout this planet Earth socially, you know, and I must say that right now, you know, what just happened a couple of days ago with a second top general in commander of Iran just got killed, of course, at the directions of our president of these United States. And that may have sparked a possibility for World War III. And as you know, it's being discussed throughout the media as well as throughout social media. And, you know, in the midst of all this chaos, we as so-called African Americans in this country is the only group of people here in America, again, which is a nation of 300 some million people, that find ourselves completely on our own without any type of safety network that could put protection around us in the event that things get too far out of control in this country, while everyone else is preparing to look after each other and their own kind. We're the only ones that's divided and that is stretched out into too many places. And at this point in time, we need to do something about our situation, unless we just want to perish altogether. Because as it looks right now, that's where we're headed at as a people anyway in this nation, especially under the footstool of racism, which also permeates our nearly 500-year existence as a group of people here in this country. So, I mean, take your choice and, accept these words for what it is, or take the other choice of just remaining a slave who's headed on a path of total extermination as a group of people. Because this is just where we find ourselves at, unfortunately. I mean, we have no defense for what's worse to come. Like we don't have no defense for the onslaught that besieges us as a people right now in this country, that has us under constant attack every day as a people in this country, while women, our children, get shot down like dogs, because we can't protect them, because we don't have no base set up or no type of network set up to protect them. But yet we still call ourselves men, but can't protect our own women and children from the brutality of racism in this country. So, I mean, like I said before, we either take the choice of preparing ourselves to rise up as a people, or as the gods that you say you are, or simply just perish. Because we are in a time right now where America may not be America as we know it. I mean, just look at what's going on across the world and what's, brewing around this situation. Everything that's escalating throughout the planet Earth permeates around this situation, whether we want to accept it or not. Because America is the major center point for all the political and social chaos that's taking place in this world, because of the fact, like I said, that is a superpower, and the only superpower that stands alone as a country. And because of that, everything permeates and revolves around what's going on with this country. So we may see a situation like I spoke about with the probability of World War II. And like I say, it ain't gonna be too nice. I mean, I mean, we're not safe as we think we are either. And that's already, a known fact. It's no secret about that. That's a known fact. And we are in a time of danger. So, you could keep playing, taking things for a joke all you want to, especially as black people in this country, and especially as a people who have no unity whatsoever, and keep taking things for a joke and see what happens. I mean, we haven't seen the worst yet like we think we have. And this is what all this is leading to. Because you have not taken the initiative to do anything about changing your condition. While you still worrying about, the celebrities, sports stars, what they doing, how they living, how much money they got, and everything, and which don't really mean nothing, which is very meaningless, especially when it comes to, the real situation that surrounds the existence of 44 plus million so-called African Americans in this country. We must understand and realize what we're against. And when you focus on, petty, minute stuff like that, that's really irrelevant right now. That just gives the enemy more leverage on us to, do what they got to do in terms of what their plan is for us, which we know or should already know, which is not good, of course. So like I said, we could keep playing with fire all we want to, and find ourselves, where the enemy wants us at, which is dead. Because that's all of which that's going to just lead to anyway, And as I said before, I know it's close to like I'm speaking in parables, as they would say, with the so-called biblical, mythological Jesus of the Bible, but I'm speaking the truth as it is, and however the truth comes, it's necessary to receive it, with the proper actions to be taken behind accepting such truth. So like I said before, we need to stop playing and start taking the little time we got, not for granted, but taking it very serious. Because we may not have no time at all left. Like I said, with the way things is politically and socially going with this country and throughout this world, we may not have a chance in the making at all to survive this oncoming, what they call pending doom. Far as us as a people, who I call people of soul, or dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. So, like I said before, we need to understand and wake up to the reality of our situation and stop, playing games. That's just the bottom line to that. And we need to also realize and understand what we're dealing with. At least our ancestors, as I repeated before in numerous videos, understood where their place was with this nearly 500-year-old enemy called the racists that we still constantly deal with every day in our lives. In some way or form or another, they understood who the real enemy was. But we as their descendants, unfortunately, don't, because most of us think we're free, which we're not. And that makes the situation for us more dangerous, as I've also said before in other videos. When we think we're free, which is not a part of our reality in this country as a people. And, I also want to just say this too, is that, a World War III kickoff, and let's say if something do actually happen, you know, where Russia, China might get leverage and end up, or let's say even with North Korea, and they end up coming over here, taking control massively of this land, where everybody either be speaking Russian, Korean, or Chinese, and they decide, hey, we don't even want nothing to do with these Negroes already over here in America, so let's put them on boats and send them off somewhere for the worse, just to have to deal with a worse of circumstances, you see, because we ain't prepared for whatever's gonna come. You know, fellow so-called African American descendants of slaves born in this country, I must say to you that what you've seen happening in past world wars like World War I, World War II, where empires that was just as great as America fell on their face. America is not immune. Just like other ruling world powers like Rome, Babylon fell, the same thing can happen to America. Human history has proven this fact throughout the years. Wake up. America's not immune. It can happen to America. And the way it's looking, the situation just may be heading in that direction. And what you gonna do when America is no longer the nation it is that you depend on for its substances? I mean, so like I said before, wake up. We are in a situation that's very serious. People, I'm talking to Black America mainly, because you are my people. And I want to see us free all at once and for all. So like I said, we need to wake up because things is changing for the worse. And wherever it goes or wherever it comes to, we gonna be the only ones as a group of people in this country left out because we don't have the unity that we need to get us through this storm that is impendingly coming our way. So, like I said, we could keep playing all these games all we want to. And I'm even talking to the leadership of so-called Black America. I'm talking to those who have influence on our dark-skinned communities throughout America. And everyone else that is a part of us as a group of people, far as us dark-skinned descendants of slaves that is born here in America. So like I said before, we could keep on playing like, reality don't exist when it comes to serious life matters in these crisis of times that we are living in right now, which is getting very darker and darker every day. And what's facing America as a whole will, of course, have the most worstest impact upon America's former slaves. Well, I would say current slaves because we're still slaves, especially according to the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution. But I must also say this, that we have to understand that if we really want to be free, we got to free ourselves. You know, as I remind us all the time, ain't no God gonna come save you. Ain't no mother plane spaceship out of the blue skies gonna come and rescue you or save you. We got to save ourselves. Or as someone would say, the help is at the two ends of your arm. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, either we get serious about our dilemma as a people and work on changing our condition, not only for ourselves, but for our future generations to come behind us, or just die off. It's just that simple. It ain't no other way to get around it or to even complicate it. It's just that plain simple, All these other YouTube outlets and black social media that claim they got a plan but ain't been able to show and improve what their plan is to get us out this situation that we're in, but just a bunch of mumble jumble talk and gossip going on. You know, hey, that's for the birds. I say later for all that. You know, like me and brother Angel Snup Snup 7 on the Reality Temple Ministries platform has been warning everyone out there in black social media, look, the Mississippi campaign at this point is the only best solution for us out of this mess, since everything else has not worked for us and we have yet to try this proposal that we brought as of now, which was a couple of years ago, just about, and we've been speaking this proposal of the Mississippi campaign for us taking over a state such as Mississippi so that we could secure us a, settlement which we could quarantine and protect ourselves by having a state behind us will be the start of changing our whole entire existence altogether, socially and politically in this country. But yet we're scared and we're afraid and we got all kind of excuses of why we don't want to even try this ideal called the Mississippi campaign. And yet we still rely on other things that has failed us as a people. So like I said before, I mean, we could keep taking things for granted because we may not have no more time left at all. In fact, like I said, especially with this impending situation or what Trump then started with Iran, far as a possible World War III happening, all our options or any option we got to see a better tomorrow as a people in this nation may be all out the window at this point right now. And that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm exactly saying. So either we wake up, or we just go on ahead and wake up and do something about our condition or just die. And it's that simple. It's that plain simple. I don't know how much or what else to say, really. You know, I mean, we got to understand and realize where we find ourselves at as a people, or where we are at, rather to say, you know. We have to really understand where we're at and what we're facing, you know, and like I said before, you know, because anything can happen right now at this given time in these dark hours or these perilous times that we find ourselves in. We can really end up in a worse situation that we will find it impossible to get out of, is what I'm saying. You know. So, I mean, you know, as we see what's taking place around this world and in this country, it should definitely be enough to make us wake up, you know, and smell a coffee and do something about our condition. Because, of course, the people that is responsible for us as 44 plus million dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America for being in the situation that we still are in after almost 500 years have clearly made it known that they don't intend on doing nothing far as giving us true freedom, justice, and equality, which is long overdue to us, giving us the reparations that is long overdue to us as a people. They're not going to do nothing for us. If anything, they ain't doing nothing for themselves, but setting themselves up for failure. Just look at the political crisis in this country once again, like I spoke about, that's taking place. All those are signs for us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America to take advantage of in planning for the moment that's necessary to get us over the hill to where we need to be at, far as the promised land is concerned, that you know, Dr. King spoke on. But until then, you know, long as we keep on laying back and expecting others to do for us, we ain't gonna never get to that promised land. And that's just simple as that. We could pray, march, shout, hout, pout, holler, scream, until our lungs can't take it no more. I mean, all that. And we'll still be just right where we at in a slave-like condition. And that's just the reality of the whole situation, family. So, you know, like I said before, I mean, we could keep, you know what I'm saying, taking this thing for a joke. It's not a joke. We are in a nation that's facing serious implications of getting involved in a possible third world war because of the type of whacker we got for a president, and then the fact that there's a lot of other countries that don't like America, including its own allies, you know, and that don't look good either at all. But I mean, like I said, you say you know the information or that you research the information, well then keep doing that, you know, because this is not a game. This is for real. You know, anything can happen. Somebody could push that button, at the right given time or opportunity, and it'll be over with for us all. But see, if we use our heads and do something about our situation and show the rest of the world or the best example of how it could be done, then another situation could curtail that possibility of this war taking us to a point of nuclear disaster. You see, so I mean, it's all up to you people. And with that said, I just want to send shout outs to my brother Angel Snup Snup 7 and Sister Noble Levine, and those of you that will be watching this video once it's posted. And I just want to also say that, I mean, hey, this thing is very, very, very serious. We need to, wake up. And to those young brothers and sisters out there, strung out on them drugs, gang banging, killing each other over senseless stuff, I mean, we need to wake up. We need to all come together, young and old. We need to. We all we got as a people. And stop this foolishness. And show the world that we are the best among examples of all humanity, since we proclaim to be the gods and goddesses of this universe, as those of you in the so-called black conscious community have been feeding us with for all these years. Well, let's show and improve how much of a god and goddesses we are by, as you say, taking our rightful place in this earth to do what we need to do to at least help straighten out this unnecessary chaos that we find ourselves in at the hands of the races, and of course corruption that racism produced not just in this nation but throughout this world, as we can see. So like I said before, you know it's time for us to wake up, man, and to actually do something. All the time for talking, standing behind the podium, preaching every Friday or Sunday or even Saturday. The gig is up for that. The gig is up. It's time for real action. It's time to stop the marching on Washington, the million marches and all that's proved to be meaningless. I mean, beside the 1963 march on Washington that did kind of produce some tangible incentives for us as a people. Other than that, all that other marching ain't did nothing for us, you know, but just continuously kept us dumbed down. And we need to just, you know, free ourselves from that type of mentality. And as they say, pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and do something for ourselves for once and for all to get ourselves completely up out this situation that we find ourselves in as a people. Because like I said before, I'm sending a warning out again. We're in a time, definitely right now, where America may not be what we know it as, even at this moment. This is the crisis in times that we're facing in a nation such as this one that we're in. And once again, I'm going to move on with the rest of my night. And I hope those of you got something out of this video. Peace.